Okay, since I think everybody's nervous, let's just do like a physical warm-up. So put your arms up. Actually, stand up, please. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Thanks, guys. Okay, I just have nervous energy. Okay, we're gonna go from the very top of the piece. We're gonna do the first 4 systems, and we're gonna do it on solfege. Okay? Okay. Altos, can we go over your part from measure 1 to 8? So that's the first 2 systems. Who are my altos?
Wait, second sopranos or altos?
Altos. Actually, can everybody sing the alto part from measures 1 through 8? And we'll sing it on solfege still. So. Feeling good about that? So yeah, don't be scared about the G because it's awesome and it's in the basement. And then can we, basses and sopranos, can we go over the rhythm at measure 5? So let's actually do it on a pause. So this part's really bouncy. So let's just go really slowly for it. So. Yeah, good. Okay. So, and now I want to go over the whole thing, and so I want to do it on a paw, and make sure it's the paw, or the ah sound is really tall. Okay, so, and a little bit faster, and on a paw. Okay, now I wanted to do, I'm not sure this, okay, sorry, can we do it on a like collapse vowel, so like super ugly, like pa kind of sound? So just for measures 5 through 8, just so you can get the sound of like, just do it really terribly. So for measure 5. Okay, and now let's do that same section again, but with a very tall paw. And can you guys do this and just kind of like think about having a nice relaxed jaw? Okay. And for measure 5 again. Yeah, nice sound. Okay. And now we're going to do from the whole thing. Can you make it extra bouncy and on a paw? Or actually, sorry, can we do it on words? Okay. From the top.
Sing we enchanted, my love doth grant me. La 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 la. Sing we enchanted.
can you guys write this? Or, yeah, really bad. A vowel above passive and the open E above leisure, so then that's what's starting to push. Okay. So now I'm going to take it a little faster and I'm going to try it in one now. So if you can all stand up and kind of do like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So move your arms up. So for a tall vowel, and then bend your knees on 1, so we get the 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3.
Good, let's stop you there, Gabby. So,
Yay!
what do you think went well?
I think I did picking specific spots to work on. Like I think the sopranos and basses tightened up the rhythm really fast.
Good, yeah.
And I think, yeah, same with the alternate part.
Yeah, great. Yeah, I thought you were really good at identifying where we were still just stumbling a little bit and immediately isolating. You know what, the altos aren't quite getting that jump. If you take the time to sing through all the parts and really learn the music, you already know where the people are going to stumble. Because if you mess it up, so are your friends. You know, my thought is for me, if I sing through and I mess it up and it takes me 2 times to get it, it's going to take my students like 4 to 6 times to get it. Right? If I stumble over something, for sure my choir is going to have trouble with it. So knowing that in advance I think is good, but also being able to identify what you need to work on. I think it's effective to do the sort of not pretty tone, but I wouldn't do it for very long.
Okay.
But I like that idea of, especially with younger choirs, so that they hear what you don't like. What would you like to maybe improve upon for next time?
I think I needed to go over page 45 a little bit more.
Okay.
I think people,
Just to get that transition into the sort of C major tonality.
and I think people might have been stumbling, but I couldn't quite pinpoint it.
Okay.
I couldn't quite hear it.
Okay, good. I have 2 comments for Gabby, and the comments I'm giving, I'm writing down comments, but the comments I'm giving are really for everybody, and that's why I'm sort of giving them verbally. I would say for everybody, Malcolm and I have talked about this a lot. In the early stages of rehearsal, first of all, remember this is not beginning conducting anymore. This is rehearsal. So in beginning conducting, I taught you, should only really need to give people 1 beat of prep, right? Not too long. But remember, in our beginning stages of rehearsal, when the pacing needs to be kind of fast and people are buried in their score because they're still learning music, I strongly believe that you should give some kind of verbal cue in as well. And if you need to get it done and you need to get us in with more than 1 beat of prep, fine. But I think that people are buried in their score and you're nervous. So oftentimes you forget to even make eye contact. So we get a lot of this, and both Gabby and Andy, and it's not a criticism of just them, probably everybody, you're like, all right, let's start at measure 6. Boom. And the opening chord is always just a little bit stumbly because you've not given us any verbal. So I would say, we're starting back at the beginning. Are you ready? Here we go. And there's some, you don't have to snap if you don't want to, but there's a verbal cue too. Ready and sing. Not long, youth. I think in early stages of rehearsal, the conductor needs to give verbal instructions also for the prep because it helps with pacing. There's not this awkward, all right, we're going to go back to the beginning now, from the very beginning. And, 3 people, it's not that they're being rude, but 3 people are like trying to find the measure. And then you just go, and they didn't hear that we were starting because you only gave that. So that's number 1, and number 2, what was that? I already forgot. I don't know. I'll think of it and write it down. Okay, who's up? Nolan.
No.